questions, or how do y'all want to start it out?
Do you want to go ahead or out?
No, I mean, just
Yeah. So have they found the boat yet?
they have not. There was reports of debris from the boat being located, several miles from where, they're thought to last been. The Coast Guard has done an extensive search, and once they've determined that, it was no longer a rescue mission, that they terminated their involvement in it. And we had our units out, the flotilla and our special operations out, from day one, and we will continue to have them out. Tomorrow we will have some boats as well as a ground search going along the shoreline. On the way here, I talked with Baldwin County. They're sending some resources and assets over, and we'll establish a command post down at the island tomorrow. And I said we plan on continuing the search until the boat and the boys found.
And what sort of debris was found around that area?
I don't know. I'm sure items from the boat that they were able to say that came from that boat.
Okay. Where exactly were you guys searching today? Yesterday the Coast Guard was searching 9 miles south of Dalton Island.
We were more focused around the areas of the island. Our boats that we have aren't really made to go offshore, especially in rough waters. So, my understanding that the area, that Pelican Bay area is a very popular place for people to shrimp. And, that's where they were supposed to be. So we've kind of focused our efforts in and around those areas.
Is that why you guys launched from Volume Battery?
Yes.
So there's been an understanding that Hunter was seen wearing, there's a photo of him seen wearing a life jacket. Can you confirm whether you believe he is or not?
There's really no way to know that. At his age, the law requires him to have on a life jacket. But there's while I was before I got here, I was talking with an older gentleman who was a lifelong shrimper who knew Sam very well, and his belief, knowing the design of that boat, he feels like the boat capsized for some reason, and that Hunter may be inside the cabin, because it was cold and windy on Saturday. So, there's really no way to know, and if that is the case, then the life jacket, wouldn't really have made a difference.
Yeah. And where were they shrimping? What location?
That Pelican Bay area is where, they were supposed to be fishing, or I'm sorry, shrimping. Weather, water depths in and around those areas vary, and there's debris, underneath the water that can either trap a vessel that's sunk, or even cause issues with sonar while they're looking. And if in fact the boat capsizes and is down, it's going to take sonar type equipment to locate it, and it's a very meticulous grid search type situation. It's the only way you're going to isolate where it is.
This is just an absolutely tragic situation. I mean, that poor little boy, his family. Kind of just speak about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's you've lost a father, a husband, and a young son, and right here at the holidays, and I couldn't imagine being in that situation. It's a tragedy, that no one could really imagine unless they've been through it. But we do understand, the mom wants her son recovered, so she can, say a proper goodbye, and we will expend all resources that we have to help accomplish that.
And are you guys allowing volunteers to come out and help with the search?
Yes, but we do ask that if they are going to come to coordinate it with us, they can call our dispatch, which is 251-574-8633, and all that will be coordinated through our command center, and that way there's some organization to it, and we're not having people doubling back behind what others have already covered. So we certainly encourage volunteers, and but just ask that they do so orderly and in an organized fashion where we can keep up with everybody. And certainly we don't want someone else to get out there on a boat and get in trouble too. So we want to know who's out there.
How many crews did you guys have out there today?
We have 4 of our boats. We have 2 specialized boats, a patrol boat and a SWAT boat, and then some of our flotilla personnel, and they have their own boats. And then we do have our side-by-sides there should they need to respond, but we'll have more out there tomorrow.
And you guys are not going to suspend any efforts until he's found or the boat's found?
I will say that we will continue as long as we're able to continue. And, you know, some of what may be involved is more specialized equipment than what we have. But right now, I don't plan on suspending anything until we find the boat and more importantly, Hunter.
Daphne Search and Rescue was helping with the search yesterday. Are they helping you guys today, or?
They are probably out there. They have a team of divers that are experienced in these type situations. And, you know, we have some as well, but they do it more frequently than we do as far as the dive operations.
Talk a little bit more about the importance of sonar. You guys using sonar pretty much to get that on out?
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much have to. If nothing's visible above the water line, you know, you have to have sonar to see, you know, what's below the water. And
How powerful is the sonar equipment?
it varies. You know, obviously there are probably some boats that have much more sophisticated sonar equipment than we do. You know, but you know, you're talking thousands and thousands of dollars. But we do have some on our flotilla boats that are capable of, you know, finding it in, you know, a structure in 20, 30 feet of water. So.
The last time they were heard from was Friday. Who were they in contact with on Friday, and was there any kind of distress signal that was sent out that anybody's aware of?
Not that I'm aware of or that's been told to me.
This map that we're looking at right here, what is this show?
That's the areas where the Coast Guard and other marine assets and air assets have checked already. And again, that's, you know, you can see the debris is, you know, they've marked where some of that was found. They've given the GPS locations. And, you know, but, you know, in rapid moving water, debris can move along the water very, very quickly. And so you can't really go on light debris as to where the boat may be. You know, and I did talk with a gentleman this afternoon who was familiar with the boat. He was familiar with Sam, the captain, and said that particular boat, the way it's built, doesn't have a lot of flotation qualities to it. So if it snagged on something, it would capsize easily and go down. So.
Here's handing them a release with the photo, and it also lists some of the other agencies that are participating.
How long are you guys going to be out there tonight?
Until dark. You know, it's unsafe to operate on waters, especially waters you're not real familiar with, you know, after dark. You know, and again, I know Lori's passing something out, but, you know, these operations, you know, I want to recognize everybody that have been involved, which is the U.S. Coast Guard, you know, both air and marine units, ALEA helicopter, our flotilla personnel, special operations personnel, Dauphin Island Police, Marine Resource Division, Baldwin County ALEA, and then Baldwin County Sheriff's Office is now involved as well. And I hope it didn't leave anyone out. And I know there have been a host of volunteers out there through the weekend, and certainly commend them for their efforts.
I guess, yeah, going off Haley's question, what time are y'all planning on starting tomorrow morning? And like how long would you say the search would go on?
You know, we'll be ready to put in, you know, right shortly after daybreak, and we'll go until dark. And again, we're going to do a little bit different tomorrow. We have some boats near the shoreline because it is supposed to be heavy winds and such tomorrow, but we're going to have some ATVs, side-by-sides, possibly some people on horseback to go along the shorelines.
Is there anything else that we should be aware about?
Not necessarily be aware, but, you know, I do ask that, you know, anybody who, you know, sees this to pray for this family, and, you know, they're going to need that strength through the holidays.
We'll just do another follow-up, probably via email tomorrow, about the same time, if that's good with y'all. Make it a time for evening.
And I will reiterate one more time, if people do want to volunteer, please coordinate that through our dispatch, and so we can keep track of everyone. All right. Thank y'all. Thank you.
That's fine.
Okay, sounds good. All right.
That's fine. Everybody get this? The release?
Yeah, thank you.
I know he said down at